Just for gold, for something to found. If everything's a reality sound. I know what we're here to do. Top athletes united in the mission so true. Through a testless thumb, we can so bright. In the heart of the game, we ignite the fight. Working dreams, we're a team. Good don't finish last, it's more than a dream. Creating excellence, creating role models, reaching for stars. Ethics and sports, it's the name of the game. Guten Morgen und herzlich willkommen. Ein paar Ankündigungen, sodass wir gleich gemeinsam starten können. Hello and good morning, everyone. We have a few announcements so that we can start on time. So one is that we have translation prepared for you from English to German and German to English. And here you find a way how to go for it. In the first step, you have to download the app. And you need your earphones for it. If you don't have earphones, you can get outside earphones from us. Then in the second step, you download the app. Third step, you can enter the code for the main hall here. And then you can just activate the app and then you will always hear the translation either from English to German or German to English. Jetzt in Deutsch. Wir haben hier den Weg, wie Sie sich die Übersetzung runterladen können. Einmal als erstes ist es wichtig, dass Sie die Kopfhörer bereit haben für Ihr Smartphone. Wenn Sie keine dabei haben, so gehen Sie bitte nach draußen an den Translation Desk. Dort können Sie Kopfhörer bekommen. Dann laden Sie sich die App runter und geben Sie den Code für die Haupthalle ein. Gut. Danke. Dann die nächste Slide, Luisa. Luisa, können wir die nächste Slide? Genau, wir haben hier für Sie das Programm den ganzen Tag. Sie finden es auch auf Ihrem Namensschild und dann können Sie jeweils schauen, was als nächstes passiert. Great, so you can scan the QR code to get to the program, and then during the day it's nice if we post our experiences which we have right on our social media. Just whatever great experience you have, you're invited to share that. Und den ganzen Tag, wenn Sie möchten, können Sie gerne Ihre Erfahrungen über die Social Media Kanäle teilen. Ich wünsche Ihnen viel Vergnügen. We're here to do. Top athletes united in a mission so true. Guru test wisdom, a beacon so bright. In the heart of the game, we ignite the fight. Networking dreams, we're building a team. Good guys don't finish last, it's more than a dream. Exceeding in excellence, raising the
lift each other. Let's in the arena where the champions play, we gather around to find our way. Our vision, a guiding light in the world of sports. We take flight. Networking dreams, we're building a team. Good guys don't finish last, it's more than a dream. Exceeding in excellence, raising the bar, creating role models, reaching for stars. Ethics in sports, it's the name of the game. Playing with honor, we're changing the frame. Not just for gold, but for something profound. With every victory, our values resound. Let them know what we're here to do. Top athletes united in a mission so true. Guru does wisdom, a beacon so bright. In the heart of the game, we ignite the fight. Networking dreams, we're building a team. Good guys don't finish last, it's more than a dream. Exceeding in excellence, raising the bar, creating role models, reaching for stars. Ethics in sports, it's the name of the game. Playing with honor, we're changing the frame. Not just for gold, but for something profound. With every victory, our values resound. So let's lift each other, let's stand up tall. With ethics and heart, we'll conquer it all. Together we rise, in unity strong. In this game of life, we all belong. Ethics in sports, it's the name of the game. Playing with honor, we're changing the frame. Not just for gold, but for something profound. With every victory, our values resound. In the arena where the champions play, we gather around to find our way. Our vision, a guiding light in the world of sports. We take flight. Networking dreams, we're building a team. Good guys don't finish last, it's more than a dream. Exceeding in excellence, raising the bar, creating role models, reaching for stars. Ethics in sports, it's the name of the game. Playing with honor, we're changing the frame. Not just for gold, but for something profound. With every victory, our values resound. Let them know what we're here to do. Top athletes united in a mission so true. Guru does wisdom, a beacon so bright. In the heart of the game, we ignite the fight. Networking dreams, we're building a team. Good guys don't finish last, it's more than a dream. Exceeding in excellence, raising the bar, creating role models, reaching for stars. Ethics in sports, it's the name of the game. Playing with honor, we're changing the frame. Not just for gold, but for something profound. lift each other. Let's stand up tall. With ethics and heart, we'll conquer it all. Together we rise, in unity strong. In this game of life, we all belong. Ethics in sports, it's the name of the game. Playing with honor, we're changing the frame. Not just for gold, but for something profound. With every victory, our values resound.
Noch einmal guten Morgen und herzlich willkommen. Für die Übersetzung von Deutsch nach Englisch und Englisch nach Deutsch haben wir für Sie eine App eingerichtet und es wird jetzt gleich eingespielt hier. Sie können sich die App herunterladen und über die App dann die Übersetzung bekommen. Good morning once again. We are welcoming you, and for translation you have the possibility to, via the app and the QR code, get to the translation from English to German and German to English. And you will also find all the information on your desk. There is a sheet where you can get to the program and to the translation. Enjoy your morning.
Champions play, we gather around to find our way. Our vision, a guiding light in the world of sports. We take flight. Networking dreams, we're building a team. Good guys don't finish last, it's more than a dream. Exceeding in excellence, raising the bar, creating role models, reaching for stars. Ethics in sports, it's the name of the game. Playing with honor, we're changing the frame. Not just for gold, but for something profound. With every victory, our values resound. Let them know what we're here to do. Top athletes united in a mission so true. Guru has wisdom, a beacon so bright. In the heart of the game, we ignite the fight. Networking dreams, we're building a team. Good guys don't finish last, it's more than a dream. Exceeding in excellence, raising the bar, creating role models, reaching for stars. Ethics in sports, it's the name of the game. Playing with honor, we're changing the frame. Not just for gold, but for something profound. With every victory, our values resound. So let's lift each other, let's stand up tall. With ethics and heart, we'll conquer it all. Together we rise, in unity strong. In this game of life, we all belong. Ethics in sports, it's the name of the game. Playing with honor, we're changing the frame. Not just for gold, but for something profound. With every victory, our values resound. athletes united in a mission so true. Guru Dad's wisdom, a beacon so bright. In the heart of the game, we ignite the fight. Networking dreams, we're building a team. Good guys don't finish last, it's more than a dream. Exceeding in excellence, raising the bar, creating role models, reaching for stars. Ethics in sports, it's the name of the game. Playing with honor, we're changing the frame. Not just for gold, but for something profound. With every victory, our values resound. Let's lift each other, let's stand up tall. With ethics and heart, we'll conquer it all. Together we rise, in unity strong. In this game of life, we all belong. Ethics and sports, it's the name of the game. Playing with honor, we're changing the frame. Not just for gold, but for something profound. With every victory, our values resound.
Good morning, everyone. Wow, what a day and what an incredible lineup of speakers we have here today. Sports legends, Olympic winners, the biggest coaches in the world, visionary business leaders, the most eminent spiritual leader from India, well, change makers, each and everyone with a unique story we want to hear. But this day shall be much more than just about presentations. This day shall be about you, about us, about the dialogues we're going to have, the questions we're going to ask, the answer we're going to find, and the intention to act. And I would like to say that today, we are all in the same team, the team that cares for sports so dearly, that would like these beautiful values of sports to be preserved. And I would like to say that with the very fact that we have come here together, we have already scored the first goal of the day. So shall we give ourselves a big round of applause? So ladies and gentlemen, excellencies, dear friends, my name is Christoph Glaser. I'm a managing director of the World Forum for Ethics in Business, and it's my great honor and pleasure to welcoming you all to the 7th World Summit on Ethics and Leadership in Sports in this beautiful city of Basel. And we want to ask some candid questions. Is it possible to be successful yet ethical? What can we learn from sports to be successful, to be better human beings? And where do we stand with the sports now that it has become a big global business? And sports truly matters. 1 out of 3 minutes we see on our televisions in the global media is about sports. 45% of young people, though, say that they feel that sports is unethical. Interestingly, though, 89% of the population says we think sports is part of the solution to become a better world. So the people out there still believe in you, believe in us. So let's take that responsibility. And that's exactly what the World Forum for Ethics in Business does since 2006. It all started, Krishy, with the first conferences at the European Parliament. Almost every year we are holding the conferences there. And in 2014, we decided to hold the first conference on sports as it has become a business. It started at the FIFA headquarters. We had 2 conferences there. We were invited by Union Berlin, and we have the representatives here, had a conference there too at Anti-Doping Norway, the last one at the beautiful headquarters of the Art of Living in India, and today in the beautiful city of Basel. Well, what a city Basel is, I say it not just because I am from Basel, but isn't Basel a city of sports? It's the home of the FC Basel. It's the home of Roger Federer. And it's the home of this beautiful European Championships. How many of us have been watching it? I mean, Krishy, if you can see it, is there not incredible energy behind these games? We want to thank the city of Basel for supporting this event. Mr. Atici, thank you so much. Big round of applause. And we want to thank, and we want to see them for a moment, all the sponsors. Without them, this program would not be possible. But without further ado, let the games begin. And I want to show you the program real quick. Well, this is our opening panel with the keynote speeches, the inaugural and welcome addresses. We're then going to split into 2 halls. We will come back for a meditation, a short moment of relaxation, and then going to have a keynote discussion in German. So make sure in the break you take your translation systems before we have a great lunch. That sounds promising so far. Well, it gets even better in the afternoon. We'll come back for a dialogue on the trends of the future. We'll again break into the 2 halls, do some movements. I see Roland in the hall. And then we definitely look forward for the Ethics in Business Award as a highlight at 5 o'clock. Now it's my great honor to introduce to you our distinguished speakers, keynote guests on the dais. Gurudev Sri Sri Ravi Shankar, big round of applause. Our founder of the World Forum. Mustafa Atici, the Sports Minister of Basel. Big round of applause. His Excellency, Mr. Mridul Kumar, the Ambassador of India to Switzerland. Dr. Sanjay Pradhan, our newly elected President of the World Forum for Ethics in Business. The President of the biggest sports association in Switzerland, and that is the Soccer Association, Mr. Dominique Blanc. Ms. Thaljieh, representing the FIFA, big round of applause. And the hosts of these wonderful, I must say, wonderful championships, Mr. Veglio, incredible, Mr. Filippo Veglio, the head of social and environment sustainability at UEFA. Let's give him a big round of applause. And, well, let us start, and I would like to invite Dr. Sanjay Pradhan, our President of the World Forum, and the former Vice President of the World Bank Institute, leading there globally the World Bank Group for Leadership. Sanjay, the floor is yours.
Good morning, dear friends on behalf of the World Forum for Ethics in Business, a very warm welcome to each of you. I'm especially enthused about today's Sports Summit, not just as WFEB's president, but as a die-hard cricket fan. I've stayed up countless nights watching epic cricket battles, cheering every boundary, every over with relentless passion. But then came the gut-wrenching revelation. Some of those nail-biting matches were fixed, rigged by heroes I idolized, sold out to betting mafias. And in that moment, something sacred shattered. The trust of millions of fans like me. That day, sports didn't just lose a game, it lost its soul. Sports isn't just a game, it's a mirror to society, reflecting who we are, what we value, inspiring billions. But what happens when that mirror cracks? From FIFA's corruption scandals, to Russia's doping machine, to Larry Nasser's abuse of gymnasts, what are we teaching our children? When match-fixing triumphs, we teach that cheating pays. When doping wins medals, we teach that winning is more important than integrity. When sexual abuse is silenced, we teach that fame shields the guilty. This isn't just about sports. It's about the moral compass of our societies. But even in this darkness, light shines through. Scandals shatter trust, but stories of integrity uplift the soul. And they show us that ethics is strength. Norway chose clean sports over shortcuts and became an Olympic giant per capita. The NBA took a stand for racial justice and won even more fans. That is how values win. And the same is true beyond sports. You know, in business, ethics isn't just right, it pays. The most ethical companies outperform their peers by over 25%. Get this, by over 25%. Sports is today's arena, but our deeper calling is to reclaim the very soul of leadership across business and society. And that is the aspiration at the heart of WFEB. So let me take a moment to introduce WFEB, the organization behind today's Global Sports Summit. WFEB is a Brussels-based international foundation with consultative status at the United Nations. It exists to catalyze ethical leadership across sectors, and sports, with its global outreach and global influence, is a powerful arena to begin with. As to its origins, WFEB rose from the ashes of the 2008 financial crash, when greed ran rampant and ethics collapsed, to champion a powerful idea that business and ethics aren't contradictory but complementary, that values and value go hand in hand. To advance this idea, WFEB became a global convener of conscience, a platform for ethical leadership to take root and thrive. Over nearly 2 decades, we have hosted 38 conferences in 15 countries, and among them, 7 ethics in sports summits like this one. we have engaged over 100,000 leaders and change makers from 80 nations, including heads of state, CEOs, ministers, Olympic champions, and youth leaders. Anchored in the annual summit at the European Parliament, WFEB sparked global dialogues from Geneva to Silicon Valley, from the FIFA headquarters to the United Nations on ethics. And today, we step into a bold new phase to ignite a global movement for ethical leadership, not only in sports, but across business and society. And to advance this movement, we will spotlight and scale up ethical businesses, confront frontier challenges from doping to AI, nurture inner transformation through TLEX, and build coalitions, local and global. So let me end where I began. If sports can inspire a child's dream, lift a nation, and electrify the world, then surely it can lead a movement to reclaim integrity at the heart of our society. Join us as champions of ethics. Join us to show the world that values create value for all. Join us in Brussels 2026 at our 20th anniversary summit to advance this movement. Let's rise to reclaim the soul of sports. Let's build a world where integrity thrives. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sanjay, for these inspiring words, and I would like to apologize. You saw my enthusiasm for the FC Basel, and that is so that we have been accused to invite only the FC Basel to this conference and not the other clubs, but now I forgot to announce a real hero of the city, and I'm so sorry, Bernhard. We have with us on the panel the most successful president ever of the FC Basel. 8 times they became Swiss champions. He's a leader. He knows how to mobilize a city, a club, a team, and he wrote an incredible book in which he's sharing his secret, and he will be our speaker. Can we give him an extra round of applause, please? Dr. Bernhard Vogel, Dr. Bernhard Häusler. And now, I invite the sports minister of the city to bring that, the dignity on this panel. Please, Mr. Atici.
Good morning, dear political and diplomatic representatives, dear members of the World Forum for Ethics in Business, Your Excellency, Mr. Mridul Kumar, Ambassador of the Republic of India, Honorable Mr. Aljoš Peterle, former Prime Minister of Slovenia, Gurudao Shri Ravi Shankar, founder of the World Forum for Ethics and Business, Dr. Sanjay Pradhan, President of the World Forum for Ethics in Business, Mr. Dominique Blanc, President of the Swiss Football Association, dear representatives of sport associations, non-governmental organizations, and international institutions. Dear business and science representatives, dear athletes, ladies and gentlemen. Sport moves us physically and emotionally. It makes us cheer, it makes us marvel. Sport overcomes boundaries between generation, languages, and cultures. But one thing must never be lost. Our attitude, our values, our fairness. I am delighted to welcome you to the 7th World Summit of Ethics and Leadership in Sport here in Basel on behalf of the Canton of Basel-Stadt. As Director of Education and Sport, I know that sport is more than just physical activity. Whether in physical education class, in a club, or a competition, sport shows what it means to be part of a team, to take responsibility. Sport teaches us to fight for success, but also to deal with defeat, with fairness and respect. That is what sport is all about. We need this in politics, business, and society. And Hrs Basel combines sport, culture, and politics, both locally and internationally. After the FEI World Cup finals, the Eurovision Song Contest, and Art Basel, we are delighted to be one of the 8 hosts for the UEFA Women's Euro 2025 in Switzerland. As a canton, we show our commitment. We promote sport with sport-loss sport fun. And we are delighted to be part of the Legacy program as part of the UEFA Women's Euro. We want to win more girls and women for football, creative new offerings, and set up structures that will stay, even after the applause has long faded away. I am convinced that if we take our responsibility seriously in sport, in business, and in politics, then trust will be created. Then role model will emerge. Then values will come alive. I would like to extend my sincere thanks for the organizers, especially Mr. Glaser, Ms. Adlers, and the entire team. I wish you an exciting start and enriching discussion at the 7th World Summit on Ethics and Leadership in Sport here in Basel. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Atici, again for hosting us here in this beautiful city. And I would now like to invite the Honorable Ambassador of India to Switzerland, Mr. Mridul Kumar. Let's give him a big round of applause.
Thank you, Christoph. We are long associated since I've come here, and thank you for affording me this opportunity to come and share my thoughts on this very important subject. Most revered Gurudev Shri Ravi Shankarji, thank you for being present here with your distinguished presence. Dr. Sanjay ji Pradhan, Honorable Minister Mustafa Atici ji, other fellow distinguished speakers on the stage, sports and business leaders present here, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Guten Morgen, Namaste. It's a huge honor and privilege for me to be present here in this most beautiful, vibrant and historic city of Basel. Let me begin by most sincerely expressing my appreciation for the government of Basel and the people of Switzerland for so generously hosting this important dialogue, especially at a time when sports is in the air. We have the beautiful UEFA Women's European Championship happening here. And through this platform, I want to congratulate the Swiss women football team for their most commendable and gritty performance in this championship. I want to thank Most Revered Gurudev Ji, whose tireless vision for an ethical, compassionate, and mindful world inspires us all. His lifelong association to the value-based leadership, be in sports, business, and public life, embodies the very spirit of this dialogue happening today. My dear friends, the father of Indian nation, Mahatma Gandhi, identified 7 social sins which are detrimental to humanity. And I quote, wealth without work, pleasure without conscience, knowledge without character, commerce without morality, science without humanity, religion without sacrifice, and politics without principles. And in today's world, when the pressures of competition risk overshadowing the very principles that make sports such a powerful teacher in life, I would like to add another sin to the above list, and it is sports without fair play or integrity. And if there are no principles in life, there is no true north, nothing that you can depend upon. True greatness is built on integrity, respect, resilience, and fairness. These values guide athletes, coaches, and communities, and we must protect and promote them, especially as commercial and technological changes are reshaping the world of sports. India shares this vision deeply. Our ethical traditions emphasize that the right conduct is vital for both personal growth and societal well-being. Rooted in dharma, the righteous duty, Indian philosophy champions integrity, self-restraint, and justice. In sports, it means fair play and respect. In business, it calls for transparency and responsible wealth creation. In politics, it demands moral leadership and accountability. Across all fields, ethics is not just about success, but about aligning individuals' actions with the greater good. We believe ethics and excellence go hand in hand. Our athletes prove it from Olympic podiums to local fields. The Indian government, under Prime Minister Narendra Modi's leadership, is committed to building systems that nurture talent, uphold values, and ensure clean, fair, and inclusive sports. Over the past 1 decade, our sports ecosystem has seen major transformation. The National Sports Development Code plays a key role in ensuring transparency, accountability, and athletes' participation in governance while promoting democratic process and sound financial practices. India's ambitions to host global events like the Commonwealth Games in 2030 and Olympics in 2036, for which a big team from India came recently, visiting Lausanne to present India's candidature. These reflect our commitment to transparency in organizing global events and similar processes. Friends, the future of ethics in sports, business, and politics, it all depends on the choices we make today, through our policies, through our institutions, and through our values. India's journey, marked by innovation and challenges, show that commitment, transparency, education, and collaboration can build a more ethical society. On behalf of the Embassy of India and the Government of India, I warmly congratulate the organizers and the participants of this very important summit. May today's dialogue inspire us all, leaders, policymakers, and athletes, to uphold sportsmanship, and to ensure a future whose performance and principles go hand in hand. May the spirit of fair play and ethical leadership we celebrate today guide us in every field of our life. I thank you for your patience.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency. Thank you for reminding us of the great wisdom of Mahatma Gandhi. And our keynote speaker, Gurudev Sri Sri Ravi Shankar, is living in the tradition of Mahatma Gandhi, and he's the founder of the Art of Living Foundation, of the World Forum for Ethics in Business, and through his teaching has reached 500,000 people in more than 180 countries in the world through programs that promote peace, well-being, and social transformation. He's a tireless ambassador, not just for meditation, but also mediation, and brought through that solutions in more than 40 countries around the world in conflict. It's a big honor to have you here in Basel, Gurudev, and maybe ask you to address us. Big round of applause.
There is a mic, I better use the mic here. Dignitaries on this dais and dignitaries and my dear ones in the audience. You know, 3 things we have all born with. Every child's play is part of every baby. Even before we start to walk, we start to play. So games are part of our life. The second thing is every child sings before it talks. Language comes later, but it starts singing first. It's universal language, sports, music, and third thing, if you observe a baby from the age of 3 months to 3 years, it is a yoga teacher too. It does all the yoga postures. Everywhere, you don't need a yoga teacher if you observe a baby. The way they breathe, the way they do their postures, they teach us a lot. Sports being so natural to us, where have we gone wrong today? If 1/3 of world's population is feeling lonely, depressed, unhappy, in spite of having sports and music, there is something that we all have to sit back and think about it. The sportive spirit in the sports is being lost. I want to tell you an incident that happened. I was in Canada in somebody's house as a guest, and the teenager boy of the home, he came in the evening. He had a long face. He was very sad, upset. I asked him, what? What's the matter? He said, no, I lost. Whom did you lose to? Another guy in the sports. He won and I lost. This was a badminton. I asked him, is he your friend? He said, yeah, of course. I asked him, if your friend wins, you are unhappy. How do you feel if you win and if your friend is unhappy? He just sat back and said, Gurudev, I never thought about it like that. I said, in sports, either you win or you make someone win. In either case, you should be happy. Sports should be taken in the sportive spirit. Winning and losing is not it. Just the act itself is joy. You don't wait for the end of the sports to celebrate. You celebrate from the moment you start the sports. When we understand this, ethics automatically will come into the sports. Otherwise, we see in all the sports arenas, so much violence happen. Because we play sports like wars. And sports have become so intertwined with business, politics, and it is losing its basic ethical values of creating happiness and uplifting human spirit and uniting people. What do you think? Isn't it? Something which is so natural to us, like sports, should unite the people of the world. And that's what it has been doing for quite some time. But of late, we find there are more heartburns, more violence, more depression, and sliding down the scale in ethics. Of course, sports needs competition. Without competition, there is no sports. There can be music without competition, but sports has an integral part of it, as competition is one of the integral part of sports. Competition can be healthy. Competition also can uplift spirit. Competition need not always, bring heartaches, heartburns in people. This is what we need to convey to our younger generation loud and clear. That we are all part of one human family. We are part of one globe. Concluding that incident, what I was mentioning about the teenage boy, he suddenly lit up. He said, yes, I don't want my friends to be unhappy when I win. I want them to celebrate with me. I want them to come to the party, cut the cake, and be part of me. When this is what you expect from the other, you should also celebrate someone else's victory. That boy next day brought that his friend who won the match, and they all had a great celebration. So, it is just that little twist in our thinking, a little awareness of what we are up to, make a big difference. The whole life is a game. We have to see it from a broader perspective. If we can take the whole life as a sports, there will be no war in the world. There will be no heartburns. There will be no mistrust in that. In sports, trust is a very important aspect. If you don't trust, you can't play with the person whom you are playing. Trust forms the backbone of ethics, and it forms the backbone of sports as well. And today what we see in the world is lack of trust. Perceived threat from the other. And this unfortunately has entered the arena of sports as well. So it is so timely that we bring up this topic to the forefront of ethics in sports. And we all have to work for this. Don't you think so? In a world where there is desperation, where there is so much of negativity, I feel ethics in sports can uplift the whole, scenario. Young people around the world have passion for sports. And that passion should not be killed with unethical and irrational behaviors in any corner. When countries are in conflict and people come together and playing brings a healing touch of unimaginable magnitude. When we had the World Culture Festival in Washington, D.C., we had a group which came from Ukraine to perform, and we had a Russian group too come to perform there. People are uniting. There was one group from Palestine, one group from Israel. So music, like music, sports can unite. India and Pakistan, cricket still is being played. So we should keep politics out of this arena of art, culture and sports, even religion, I would say. Politics has its place. Life is not all politics. Life is not all religion. Life has a broader perspective beyond this. And sports is something that which can soar our human values to that level. Thank you very much. Thank you, the beautiful city of Basel, for hosting this conference. And all of you who are here taking up this mission of bringing ethics in sports and encouraging our society to be more happier and healthier society. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Gurudev, so much for really connecting us to a bigger perspective to life, to sports. And I must say, when I was sitting here, I also gained a new perspective on our Swiss history in soccer. Because, Gurudev, we took your advice very serious. We always celebrate other people winning over us. When I grew up, we never qualified for any world championships. But then we had leaders like Dr. Bernhard Häusler and our next speaker. He's the president of the Swiss Soccer Association. I said it, with more than 300,000 members. And how did you do that? Under his leadership, we qualified for the first time for the quarterfinals. And not only that, there is an energy around this team, around this sports now with you, Mr. Blanc, which is incredible. Would you like to share with us your thoughts? Big round of applause.
So, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I would like to say it's a great honor for me to share this moment with you, to be invited, and to have the floor to share the meaning of the topic of the day. The topic of the day is where the values meet performance. Of course, it's a vast subject, but I will focus on the topic and on the keywords in blue on the screen. First of all, we can think about what means the word ethic and what means the word values. So you have a picture with a balance, and that's a symbol for the meaning of the word ethic. We can consider that ethic is something like moral principles and beliefs that guides and control the behavior, our behavior in one society. And ethic can be considered as a framework where values serve as the rules. And the values can be the same, could be the same, whether in politics, business, or sport. Because the values are a choice of what we made. And ethic and values guarantee long-term performance. It's a construct, like a construct, that guarantees a long-term performance. And now, if we take you don't have to read, I just have for a support for myself, what means the word leadership? Leadership means at first leader. It's human characteristic. It's not AI. It's not a structure. Leadership means a person who has individual ability to influence and unite a group to achieve common goals. A leader is a charismatic person. It makes you want to listen to him or to her, want to follow her or him with motivation to achieve performance. A leader has the ability to transcend a group to achieve high performance. We say very often in football, for example, that players, even the biggest players, say they are ready to die on the pitch for the coach, and that's exactly the model of a leader. It's very interesting to think about how the leaders communicate the values. Be an example is not only the best way of convincing the others, it is the only one. A leader is a model, a role model who applies this principle. A leader communicates with simple words that touch our senses and our emotions. People don't remember what you say. They remember how you make them feel in your presence. That's a picture of the three levels of the communication of a leader. The brain, what I know, what I understand. The heart, the stomach, what I feel, my emotions. And the feet that represent the action. And in the middle you have a red line. The red line represent the values. And to have an impact on the other, alignment is crucial. So we have to, and the leader have to be aligned at the three level with the values. And now, I'm personally committed to communicating these principles all the time. I'm always thinking, how can I communicate these values? And I show you one example, real example. That's my speech on the 29th of June to our team, 3 days before the beginning of the European Football Championship. And I've chosen to finally 5 keywords to communicate and to try to touch the emotions and the senses of the players. The first word is confidence. And what I said, we have totally confidence in all of you. And I'd like this boost your self-confidence so that you can focus solely and totally on giving your best in your role on the pitch. The second word is solidarity. Football, soccer is a team sport, and solidarity is very important. So I say it will be only one star during this Euro, during this competition, and the star will be the team. The third word I said was dream. And I said, you know, I dreamt it myself. One day, we will organize this Women's Show in Switzerland. And here it is. So, each one has the right to dream. And don't be afraid to dream big. If it will give you incredible strength, incredible energy. The next one, the fourth, is the word pride. We are very proud of you, all of you. And fans want to feel that each of you has given your all. And you will be proud of having given it your all. Proud for yourself, proud for your beloved, proud for your families, proud for your friends, and proud for Switzerland. And the last one is the word joy. You have prepared and trained hard yourself for this moment, but now you also have the right to enjoy being part of the party. You have the right to be happy to taking part with all your skills, all your commitment, and all your heart. And to conclude this short speech, I would like to do it with a bit of humor in communication. What I said before, a leader must look to communicate with the three levels, and with the brain, with the emotions, with the heart, and with the action. And sorry. Have you have a question? So we have seen the picture. That's a chemical formula. Maybe I didn't know what means this chemical formula, but maybe someone in the room knows. I don't think so, because it's the chemical formula of the cherries. And why? The chemical formula is in our brain, in our head. Now with this image, with this picture, our senses are awakened. It's still a little bit better, but now I invite you to experience the taste and the flavor of these cherries. When you leave this room, where we have the coffee break, you will find 2 big bowls of cherries. And I invite you to take 1 cherry and to feel the taste and to feel the flavor coming in your body. And this moment, you will never forget it. Thank you very much.
Wow, thank you so much. Great speech. I think we're all looking forward. And thanks for reminding us to dream big. And our next speaker, she has really dared to dream big. She's the public relations manager at FIFA, yes. She's also the co-founder of women's football in Palestine. She was the first captain of the Palestinian national team, Miss Hrs Thaljieh. Let's give her a big round of applause.
So what if I have an allergy from the cherries? What if I have an allergy from the cherries? Good morning, everyone. So my name is Honey, and that's my real name, actually. The good news that everybody can call me Honey. The bad news that everybody can call me Honey, too. So It's a great honor to be with you today at the 7th World Summit on Ethics and Leadership in Sport. Standing here in the heart of Switzerland, just as the UEFA Women's Euro 2025 captures global attention, I feel a sense of pride, responsibility, and hope. My journey to this stage began very far from here, in Bethlehem, in Palestine, a place shaped by deep faith, but also daily struggle and unwavering resilience. I grew up in the shadows of conflict, restriction, and war. But in the midst of it all, I found something powerful and unexpected: a football. Football became my freedom. It wasn't just a game. It was a declaration, a right to move, a right to speak, and a right to dream. And after all, I co-founded and was the first captain of the Palestinian women's national football team. Not because the path was open, but because I refused to let it closed. In communities where girls are often told to be silent, football taught me to raise my voice. In societies where women are told to stay small, football gave me space to stand tall. In a world where constraints and injustice are prevalent, football offered me the chance to excel. That journey led me to FIFA, where I have spent the last 13 years working to ensure that football is more than just a sport. It's a force for good. FIFA has fundamentally transformed its commitment to football, and I'm proud to be part of that evolution. For example, FIFA invested $1 billion in developing women's football between 2019 and 2026. And as such, the FIFA Women's World Cup in 2023 shattered records in viewership, attendance, and global visibility. Additionally, we are supporting women's players, coaches, referees in over 170 countries all around the world. But it's not just about the game. It's also about protection and respect. So in 2023, FIFA launched the Social Media Protection Service to shield players from online abuse during major tournaments, which is part of FIFA's broader no discrimination campaign and in support to the UN International Day for Countering Hate Speech. We are transforming the sport and the way it's being played. And now, watching the women's semi-final last night in Zurich, the energy was electrifying and the stadium was fully packed. Girls and boys are watching. Sponsors are investing. Nations are reimagining what leadership looks like. And fans are engaging with the values we embody. For me, football was never just a game or a career. As a Palestinian, my lifelong commitment has always been to justice, inclusion, and human dignity. Working in football could have been a dilemma, choosing between my values and my career. But I never had to make that choice, because sport, as its best, it's a vehicle for those very values. And at FIFA, I also had the privilege to put those values into practice, working with refugees in Jordan, offering hope, structure, and healing through football, partnering with UN Women and local organizations in Papua New Guinea to combat gender violence-based violence, and leading social responsibility efforts during the FIFA World Cups, supporting displaced communities, marginalized youth, the homeless, and creating spaces where everyone belongs. This is not charity. This is justice. This is what ethical leadership in action looks like. So today, as we reflect on the future of ethics in sport, business, and politics, let's be very clear. Performance without purpose is hollow. Success without ethics is fragile. And power without responsibility is dangerous. True success is not just about the trophies we lift, but the lives we lift along the way. Let's measure greatness not just in medals or records, but in the barriers we break, the voices we amplify, and the dignities we protect, especially when no one is watching. Because sport does not exist in isolation. It reflects society. And more importantly, it transformed it. It transformed my life. And if I managed to break through, then millions more can do. This is what happens when values meet performance. So let's not just raise the game, we must raise the standards. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I think we can hear it. You really touched our heart. Thank you for sharing your story. And I think the same energy, I would like to say, as we are experiencing now, is these days in Switzerland with these European Championships of the women. Incredible what you have done with the UEFA. I think it connects us back to that true joy of playing and being witness to the game. And, well, Mr. Filippo Veglio represents the UEFA today. He's the head of social and environmental sustainability. And let's hear him out. Let's give him a big round of applause.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, everybody. And thank you to the summit organizers, and thank you for these inspiring words, and also for the opportunity to share literally in a few minutes. I don't have a speech, I only have keywords, and I try to adapt based also on what I heard. But I would like to start by congratulating Hani and congratulating Dominique Blanc. I think we spoke about leadership and the values underpinning leadership. My former boss taught me that leadership is basically finding a path, and he always was using the words and the images of a mountaineer. When you're going up mountains, as a Swiss, we love mountains. You're going up mountains, you have to find a path. Sometimes you have a plan, but you have to adapt, depending on the weather, depending on who is coming with you, who is the strongest, who is the weakest, and you adapt, and you bring everybody along. So thank you, Hani, for that idea, the concept, and all the actions to find the right to play, the right to express your voice. And thank you also, Dominique, really for this leadership around Women's Europe, because as much as UEFA is a proud organizer, this is a very much a collaborative effort with the Swiss FA, with the host cities, the fantastic city of Basel, of course, but the 7 other counterparts as well, and with all of the authorities. It's also an effort of volunteers. I'm not here to rattle off, and I don't have statistics on a slide, but it's also 2,500 volunteers. It's the full UEFA team deployed to offer the same level of service, and I know this sounds a little bit like consulting speech, but to offer the exact same level of service, not only of effort and energy, but to offer the exact same level of service to the women's team, the 16 teams deployed all across the months here in Switzerland. So fantastic for that, and we're very proud as a governing body of European football to be part of this and to follow that leadership. We have made investments in women's football, and we are making also investment, and that's what I'm here to share in just a couple of minutes, in the integration of social and environmental sustainability into the success criteria for this Women's Euro. So when we look back on Women's Euro, and a lot of people are starting to look back already, but we are still the fantastic final ahead on Sunday, and we're not here to run victory laps. But when we look back, our aim is very much to think through that there was a success at many levels, on the sports side first and foremost, because that's the core business, the football side, on the enthusiasm and generation side around the legacy ambitions that the Swiss FA has articulated and will no doubt reach, on the commercial end as well, because it's trying to reinvest the financial resources back into the game, as Nadine Kessler always outlines, but also in the area of sustainability. So how do we integrate sustainability as a contributing factor to the success of the tournament? We have done it basically on 3 keywords: on the idea of ambition, on the idea of action orientation, and on the idea of accountability. The idea of ambition is to say, as Dominique Blanc well knows, is in our committee on sustainability, to say we must be ambitious, not only on the sportive, on the commercial, and on the legacy side, but we also have to articulate ambitious goals around a strategic approach on how sustainability, both social and environmental, can be integrated into a tournament, into a large tournament such as this one. We have to be action-oriented. There are over 97 initiatives being deployed on environmental, on social, and on governance level. I just give you one statistic. Tomorrow we'll come out with the full official statistic, but over 85% of attendees have used a combination between public transport, cycling, and walking, including, of course, the very successful fan walk. So a significant success in showing how you can move people around a country, but also within cities, within cantons, to get to the excitement in the stadium. Another statistic I want to show here with regard to gender. As you know, football matches, as you might know, usually, let's say, a male-preserved domain. Overall, the statistic, more or less, and officially will be communicated at the end of the tournament, we have around 47% of women attendees at the matches. So an important element of voice, connecting it back to Honey, of voice of girls, voice of women at the games. I would like to, if you allow me, a small personal anecdote. I'm the father of a young teenage boy, and when you tell him about girls, women's playing football, it's a little bit like, yeah, whatever. Despite my wife being a former professional athlete, despite a very inclusive education, it's still a little bit of that macho culture. Fantastic effort and fantastic impact also on boys. I have many boys around me that I watch the matches with, how they look at women's performance, at girls, at young women's performance, and how that shapes also how they think about that element of performance. So much as it is about the legacy for girls and women and officials and coaches, it's also about the impact it makes, I think, in particular on younger boys and younger men in society. We spoke about energy, we spoke about the delivery with and through energy, and that is then combined with the last element of remaining accountable. So we have articulated the strategy publicly. We launched it in October at the House of European Football in Nyon. We articulated a strategy around targets and KPIs, so we were quite specific in saying here is where we want to go, here is how we want to get there, and here is how we're going to measure the success or not of the tournament at this level. And here is how also we're going to have our homework graded with regard to how we perform. So within 100 days of the end of the tournament, we'll also publish all of the data underpinning these 97 actions and the many, many targets and KPIs underneath it. Let me just end by emphasizing that from our side, we really aim with and through sustainability to inspire, to activate, and to accelerate collective action all across of the football pyramid in Europe. Yes, at the elite level, but very much with and through working through our 55 member associations, including, of course, the Swiss FA, to really achieve that cascading effect, from national associations to regional associations down to grassroots, but also working in collaboration with leagues and the clubs, including, of course, in Switzerland very thoroughly with the Swiss Football League and the Swiss FA, to really have that cascading effect around this being an integral part, not only of expectations of society, but also the capacity to deliver successfully in line with those expectations, but therefore making the organizations better. At the end of the day, the two key messages I want to leave around ambition, action, accountability is very much about how do we make smart decisions away from the 90 minutes to ultimately protect those 90 minutes, and then to connect it back to the idea of values is how do we protect and create value on the back of the values that we want to enhance with and through women's football, with and through football overall. So thank you very much for the opportunity to share just a few minutes with a little bit of that statement. There's a lot more online, and we'll be happy to hold ourselves accountable with regard to the performance. Thank you very much and wish you a good day.
Thanks again, Mr. Veglio, and to the whole UEFA for this great tournament, for your speech. Now, in the long history of Swiss soccer, no club has been more successful than the FC Basel under the leadership of Dr. Bernhard Häusler. He is now the honorary president of the FC Basel. He is a leadership expert, a speaker, an author, and I'm looking much forward to hear your secret of success. Big round of applause.
Yes, dear ladies and gentlemen, what a burden to have a speech after these inspiring keynotes. I really love it. Dear ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, friends of ethical sport and business. It is a true honor. It is actually a personal pleasure to be here to speak to you today about leadership. We are meeting in a city deeply, deeply devoted to football, which makes this moment feel very much like a home game for me. I was born and raised here, educated here, and I spent over a decade in the leadership team of the FC Basel, the city's sportive pride. And it was there, in the stadium, on the pitch, in the locker rooms and boardrooms, where I have learned what leadership really means. Why? It is so important that leaders feel the interplay between their own attitude and own actions on the one side, and the performance, not the success, not the wins, not the points, not the ranking of the people entrusted to them. And why ethics are the foundation of any sustainable high performance of human beings, shaping how we lead, shaping how we team, and how we successfully combine both. To make it very clear, I am not talking here about theory. I'm not talking about voluntary soft factors. I have witnessed this interplay time and again in my life, in the club, in the law firm, in courtrooms, and in private. In many encounters and experiences, it has become obvious to me that the mastering of this interplay with empathy and emotional competence, the leading of people, is not a fixed concept. It has no perfect formula, but it is a continuous, often very humbling learning process. Therefore, my first message to you, which I would like to share, leadership is mindset. True leadership isn't not what we know, it's how we think and how that thinking shapes our actions. It does not require a high IQ or sophisticated skills. And please, never mix up intelligence with morality. There is no connection between them. Leadership, as its core, about the uniquely human capacity to be conscious. We claim to be the only species to be conscious. So be conscious of my abilities, of my values, and of my blind spots. Therefore, true leadership begins with honest self-reflection. Who am I? What do I stand for? How do I affect others? Self-reflection is so crucial for leaders because it helps us hold ourselves to an ethical standard, not just when it's easy, but especially when it is very inconvenient. There is no hiding, not for leaders, not for anybody here in the room. Our ethics are revealed every single day, in the way we listen, in the way we treat people, in the way we cooperate with them. This shows clearly leadership lives in our mindset and in our actions with others. Do I show respect to those who depend on me? Do I create an atmosphere of trust and of fairness? Do I act for the whole or just for myself, for my own benefit? The answers of these questions are more than just management practices. They are moral imperatives and build the ethical heart of leadership. This brings me to my second message. Leadership means impact. Leadership is never well deserved. It's not a merit and it's not a status. It's not organizational chart. Leadership exists for one reason only: to make a difference in the lives of others. The question every leader should ask is, how do people feel? How do people feel when they are around me? True impact comes from positive interaction with others, human interaction, not from shifting blame, not from increasing pressure, not from isolating others in failure. It comes from building a space of trust where people feel safe, seen, and empowered to contribute and to grow. Leadership is never about standing above the team. It's about walking the talk. It's about alongside the team, leading by example, sharing the path. Of course, leaders carry the ultimate responsibility for decisions, the ultimate responsibility for results, but they should carry it with the same humility they expect from their own teams. This is all not about altruism. It's about effectiveness, because leading with impact is not a sacrifice. Leading with impact is very smart. It's in your own interest. I learned this in the world of football, where the rules are brutally clear. When the team performs, when the team wins, the coach, the president, everybody, we are all celebrated. When the team fails, the leaders are the first to be held accountable. No excuses, no scapegoats. In business, we often see the opposite. When things go wrong, it's the employees who pay the price. This lesson is simple and honest. Leadership without team performance is meaningless. Power means nothing if it does not serve a shared success with others. Having all said that, the headlines of our time are not easy to digest. I'm both deeply impressed and deeply concerned. So allow me just for the moment to broaden the lens a little bit. Let's talk about ethical leadership in today's society. We all live in times in which the global team of humanity, the global team of our human beings, face challenges of historic scale. A climate in crisis, societies shaken by war, instability, and division, global virtual platforms that reward ego over empathy and self-optimization over solidarity. And now, self-learning AI agents that will soon reshape the foundations of human life and human cooperation. And in the middle of all these challenges of highest complexity, something else is happening, quietly but dangerously. The erosion of trust, the breakdown of cooperation, the two pillars of freedom and democracy. What a tragic paradox. At the very moment the world needs ethical leadership the most, it seems to vanish. We see leaders acting not in service, but in self-interest, confusing power with privilege, mistaking selfishness for self-leadership. This must worry us, since we know from our evolution that trust-based cooperation is not a nice to have. It's not something of sports, no. It is humanity's sole survival strategy. It is human secret of success. That's why I believe strongly and simply, if we want humanity not just to survive, but to maintain its place in the world, then we need leaders who live cooperation, integration, and solidarity in every single decision and in every relationship. We need role models who see leadership not as a privilege of power, but as ethical responsibility for the weakest of the weaker. We need leadership for the sake of future generations. To borrow the words of Moghaf Dat, former tech front runner, geek, thinker, and visionary, the way we treat AI today, the same super intelligent agents will treat our children tomorrow. Let me use this powerful warning to express my heartfelt gratitude to your association, to the World Forum, to all of you here today. Thank you for your engagement, shared commitment to and interest in ethical leadership, far beyond the relevance of the playing field of a football club, for your contribution to an ethical and trustworthy human coexistence now and in the future. And thanks so much for the chance to share this moment and many thoughts with you today. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bernard, for reminding us how important true leadership is in today's global scenario. Again, broadening our vision from sports to the world at large. And what a start this was into our day. Let's give a big, long standing applause to the panel. Thank you so much. To Gurudev Sri Ravi Shankar, our keynote speaker coming from India, from the United States. Mr. Mustafa Atici, Mr. Mridul Kumar, Dr. Sanjay Pradhan, Mr. Dominique Blanc, Ms. Hrs Thaljieh, Mr. Filippo Beglio, and Dr. Bernard Häusler. Big round of applause. May I ask you to stand for the photo opportunity? And I'm also going to take this opportunity.
Come on.
Right. And then I would like to invite Tatiana to felicitate our speakers with our memento, please, and the team. So the city of Basel is offering the best, I would say the maybe best and only sweet we are producing in Basel, the Basel Leckerli, and a memento for everyone to carry in their offices, please. Yeah, get this way. It's good. Yes. It's good? Yes. Big round of applause once again. Thank you so much. What a great start of the day. We remember the cherries. They are waiting outside. There's going to be a short break. And then at 10:30, in a couple of minutes, we meet up in the first floor. We're going to have 2 parallel sessions. I don't know which one I would choose. They are both really interesting. The role of media in sports. We heard it, 1 out of 3 minutes in the global broadcasting in the media is about sports. And number 2, high-performing athletes, high-performing corporate athletes. What it takes to be the best version of ourselves. We're going to have outstanding speakers and contributors in both the panels.